Hey everybody. Oh, I have to reconnect to to which we call it. Uh hold on 2 seconds. Hey everybody, welcome to a coffee with John. Looking forward to um there we go. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. All right, welcome to Coffee with John. Just a little technical difficulty. Looking forward to finishing the week with Nick Marks. Nick, it's been a great week. I appreciate all your time in this 5-part series. We've been talking about how to measure happiness at work and what happiness at work means. And you are the CEO of Friday Pulse, FridayPulse.com. You guys track employee experience and happiness, and it has been great. Friday1.com. To take your own happiness test and FridayPulse.com for your company. But I thought we could maybe dive into maybe a couple stories on companies that you have helped. And so people can kind of take some of the stuff from the week and say, oh, okay, oh, this is how it's kind of works and implements and gets implemented, and they can put themselves in the story.
Yeah, I mean, I often have conversations with CEOs of, particularly of SMEs, organizations up to about 500,000 people. When we go bigger than 500 people, we tend to be talking to the HR lead or whatever. But up until that stage, you often talk straight to the CEO. And I think it's a hard job being a CEO, isn't it? You must find that with your and one of the risks is the culture of the business. One of the risks is, how do I keep everyone happy? And I know that in my own team, it's like you're juggling, you wanting to achieve your goals, but you also wanting to keep the team happy. And I think that what I'm trying to do is make everyone have an easier, better job. Because if you have weekly conversations, not necessarily you as the CEO, but they happen in your organization, that every line manager does, then problems don't arise. And of course, that's always the dog that doesn't bark. You don't notice that you haven't had them. But actually, what we find with our clients is that after a year, they start thinking, oh, we haven't had a conflict this year or something like that. And there's these things that you can just slowly get rid of. I mean, one of my biggest clients and longest standing, they're based in LA. They're quite a serious, legal business. They investigate legal leaks in organizations. So they're quite hardcore. And she said to me the other week, the other month, she goes, I've been using it for 5 years and we've never had a conversation to stop using you in 5 years. That's how, we've talked about how to improve it, how to get more out of it, what we might need feature, but we've never talked about stopping it. And I think once people get into the rhythm of using something like this, it just solves problems they didn't even realize they had, which is difficult for us in the sales process, because you're sort of saying, but that's ultimately the best thing about it, I think.
Yeah. Well, I love what you talk about. It solves problems they don't have, because by measuring it every week, to me, what I love is predictability. And so when people know they have a place to kind of put their feedback every Friday in, and it doesn't take up a lot of time, but you're getting the kind of the undercurrent of their unhappiness that you can then take and create happiness through sometimes, and I think many times, very minor tweaks in the organization. It's minor things can make a big impact. And so minor changes can also make a major impact.
It's most certainly true. And most organizations are, not all, but most are happier than people think they are, actually, which is often a relief to the CMC.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think people, because you hear the problems and they come up, and we're so attuned to, we have a huge negativity bias as a sort of, psychologically. So we really listen out for the problems. And that's not to say we shouldn't listen out for the problems, but it's harder to hear the good news. And so actually, when you realize that actually 70, 80% of your teams are good, and there's some to attend to, it feels much more manageable. It doesn't, I think people often fear they're going to open a Pandora's box and there's going to be, occasionally there are some nasties, but you probably, if things get really bad, you hear about them very quickly anyway.
Right.
And actually most things are okay. And also, there is this thing. There's this thing in psychology actually called languishing. It was in the New. There's a big article about it in the New York Times about 3 months ago, but it's been around actually for about 20 years as an idea. But languishing is sort of when it's sort of it's okay, but not really. And that's one of the things we can really help for, is how to move teams from okay to happy.
Yeah.
Because there's no when teams are unhappy, you hear about them very quickly, and you have to deal with them, and it's firefighting. It might be getting rid of someone. It might be rearranging something. But when things are just you don't really notice it, and actually you're losing a lot of productivity, you're losing a lot of creativity in that space. And so we can help people, particularly, we can give early warning about what's going really wrong. We can really help take teams from okay to great.
Yeah. Are you talking about the article in the New York Times called "There's a Name for the Blah You're Feeling"? It's called languishing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it was quoting Adam Grant, maybe. But,
yeah. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I always tell companies as I'm coaching them, you're a lot closer than you think, right? Because a lot of the things feel like mountains, but they're really not. Nick, this has been a great week. I appreciate everything that you've shared. Give everybody your contact information and how they can connect with you.
Yeah, the first thing to say is we do a 6-week free trial for any organization. So we understand we're a new type of product. So come and try us and, and see whether you like it. FridayPulse.com. You can email me direct. I'm Nick, NIC, at FridayPulse.com if you want. And if you just want to check up on your own happiness at work, it's FridayOne.com. But really, really good talking to you, John. And
I love it.
Thank you for asking me.
I love it. Thanks, Nick. Think community. If Nick can help you, reach out. I think we all I just want to end with this. I think sometimes as owners, and you touched on this, Nick, we have to have the courage to walk into, different arenas, and this arena to know the reality of what's going on and be patient with the process, because I think it takes people a little bit of time to get into a rhythm to share their real feelings. But I think as you build the momentum of this, happiness is so important for people. They just want to make a difference. They want to know that they matter. They want to know that they're appreciated, and that they can be happy at work. We spend more time at work sometimes than we do with our families. It's really, really important. I appreciate you being on the show, and thanks everybody. Nick, thanks, man.
Thanks.